to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. That's Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and I'm Tyler Merkovich, bringing you our 2010 Pac-10 team previews. The Arizona Wildcats, 8-5 last year. Mike Stoops enters his 7th year, and that 8-5 could have easily turned to 9-4 because they had that crazy loss at Washington with that interception. Anyway, Nick Foles beat out Matt Scott last year, so it looks like he'll be the quarterback. Nick Grigsby, 8 starts last year before getting injured. Viola Antonin was pretty good backup for him. They got 2 great receivers, Jerron Kreiner and Delashawn Dean.
Yeah, Jerron Kreiner has an opportunity to be special last year. Over 600 yards receiving, 12.9 yards a catch. He could be a special player. Grigsby and Antonin, they have a good solid talent. They can be explosive when they're healthy. So both of them have to maintain their health this season. And keep an eye on Nick Foles' improve mechanics this year, because if he can improve his mechanics as a quarterback, he's going to be a lot better. He's already a tremendous talent, but those improved mechanics are going to be proved to be tremendous.
He has a lot of upside, but 2 different first-year coordinators, including a new defensive coordinator, will take over a defense with Trevin Wade, 5 interceptions, 9 pass breakups. He was a first-team All-Conference at cornerback. Ricky Elmore, 10.5 sacks at defensive end. He was a second-team guy. And Ohio State transfer defensive tackle Willie Mobley comes in to try to sturdy up that front 7.
Yeah, because in order to get in an effort to get more pressure on the quarterback, they go into more of a cheetah front in certain packages, which you have 4 defensive ends on the line of scrimmage set up for 2 DNs and a 2D tackle. So they'll put more of a cheetah front this year from the Wildcats. Also, linebackers is a huge question mark. All starters have gone, so that's the big question mark on their team right now. It's linebacker. You know, secondary is going to be outstanding, led by Trevin Wade, next in the long line of great Wildcat cornerbacks.
The Sun Devils of Arizona State, coming off a disappointing year at 4-8 in Dennis Erickson's 3rd year. He's now entering his 4th year. Only 9 returning starters, but last year they lost 3 games by 5 points or less. And taking the reins at quarterback will be Steven Dreet. We saw a sample of him, albeit was with the wrong system, the spread system in Michigan. He's not that type of quarterback. But center Garth Gerhardt, brother of Toby, mans that offensive line, and wide receiver Jarrell Robinson. He's highly touted, almost 10 yards per catch. He'll be the #1 receiver. Good thing on offense, they got Thomas Weber, the Groza Award winner for a place kicker.
Right, you look at that O-line outside of Gerhardt, I think that O-line may struggle. Can Cameron Higgins, the running back, Cameron Marshall, I'm sorry, be a running threat? Can he provide that oomph in the backfield that they need for the Sun Devils to succeed? And also, you look at the no-huddle offense. It will prove to be a problem for opposing teams, but it also may prove to be a problem for their own offense. It's a new system. You don't have enough time to get it acclimated to the players and get everybody on the same page. So, look for them to struggle in the first couple of games as they get acclimated to this new system.
Well, where they make their money is on defense, if anything. They lose 5 of their top 6 tacklers, but they got a great system in place. They had 3 guys with 3 interceptions each in the secondary, but Vontaze Burfict was Freshman Player of the Year in the Pac-10, and defensive tackle Lawrence Guy. You know Erickson could really coach him up, and they really want to play defense and run the ball to win effectively.
Yeah, Burfict is an outstanding linebacker. I love linebackers that are aggressive every snap of the ball, and he's definitely that. He can make plays all over the field. Speedy guys that can also play run on the way to the quarterback. Can the secondary hold up if this pass rush struggles? They have a very solid front 7, but if they struggle early on in the season, can the secondary hold up and not be a weakling? And also, both James Brooks and Greg Smith have to bring it at the defensive end spot each and every play in order for the Sun Devils to continue the defensive success they had last year.
Cal coming off another average season at 8-5. They lost to Utah in the Poinsettia Bowl, but can Jeff Tedford's teams ever surpass expectations? Last year they were number 12 to start the season. They always hang in there at some point in the season, but they always fall off towards the end. Kevin Riley, the quarterback, really needs to improve that sub 55% completion rating. They lose Javid Best, but good thing is when Best was injured last year, Shane Vereen stepped in well, nearly 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. They got their leading receiver back, and they returned 5 offensive linemen, which is a plus for Riley and Tedford.
Yeah, that reshuffled offensive line is going to prove to be a solid bunch. They moved some people around in different positions, but they all were starters last season, so they shouldn't miss a beat. Also, you mentioned Vereen. He shouldn't miss a beat as well. Their running game is still going to pack the punch and have a lot of speed and power. He's a little bit stronger than Best, so he's going to do well in that offense. And also, you want to keep an eye on true freshman wide receiver Keenan Allen, a guy that also plays free safety, one of the top safeties coming out in high school. but they're going to use him more as a wide receiver this year on offense, so that's going to be proved to be successful. He's going to get the ball a lot.
Well, Clancy Pendergast, formerly of the Kansas City Chiefs and Arizona Cardinals, now takes over as defensive coordinator. They're going to play a 3-4 system. Defensive end Cameron Jordan is one of the players to look out for. He had 6 sacks last year. First team All Pac-10 inside linebacker Mike Muhammad, over 110 tackles, and Chris Martin, a linebacker, true freshman. Look for him to get some playing time because their pass defense was brutal last year. They ranked 111th, giving up 267 yards per game through the air, so that really needs to stop, starting with the pass rush.
Yeah, you look at Cameron Jordan, he's a future NFL first-round pick, 6'4", 280 with some speed that can come off the end. So that's number one. You mentioned Muhammad, a guy that also has some speed at the linebacker spot, 111 tackles. And that pass defense was terrible last season. That has to improve in order for Cal to improve defensively as well as the team as a whole.
The Ducks of Oregon played brilliantly in the regular season. They get double-digit wins at 10-3, and Chip Kelly's first year as head coach. He moves into his second year with turmoil now that Jeremiah Masoli suspended indefinitely for some foolish actions. Now Darren Thomas, a sophomore, he's the more mobile guy, he'll battle senior Nate Costa, who's more of a thrower, but running back there loaded. They bring in a top recruit in Lachey Sheestrunk, but they already have the 2 sophomores who were amazing last year, including Pac-10 Player of the Year, LaMichael James and Kenjon Burner, who was a great kick returner and backup player for James. Offensive line, they got Carson York and Bolt Rand, who are great as anybody.
Yeah, I think they'll miss Masoli's running ability, but it won't be detrimental to the team with Costa. Costa has a strong arm. I think he's going to win the starting spot. They're going to, wait a little bit with the other guy because there's an inaccurate arm. But Costa right now is ready to win, and this is a team that's ready to win. So I think they're gonna gain more with Costa, but maybe lose a little bit in the running ability that Masoli brings. Also, you have to look at all starters returning on that offensive line makes this team dangerous. So that's important for them to come in. And James and Jeff Moore, the wide receiver, they're gonna be fine. They're gonna have to continue their playmaking ways. This is a talented team, top to bottom.
Well, 3 10-win seasons in the last 5 years for the Ducks, and you don't do that just on offense,
right,
to stay consistent. Nick Aliotti's a big part of that, the defensive coordinator. Defensive end Kenny Rowe will man the defensive line, but he's got a bunch of linebackers who could play. Spencer Pasinger, Casey Matthews, that bloodline right there, and the Rover Eddie Pleasant. Question marks in the secondary. Talmadge Jackson and John Boyette are going to try to man the secondary, which I think could be a weak point.
Well, keep an eye on cornerback Cliff Harris, a guy that was thrown into the fray last season. A sophomore now, is a young guy that has all-star potential. He's going to be a future all-conference player. Also, moving Pleasant from linebacker to safety will prove to be huge. This guy is one that was a little bit undersized at the linebacker spot, 5'11", 200 pounds, but is perfect at that rover spot, the safety spot. He's going to make a lot of plays. He's going to make all-conference as well this year. So you look at this defense for Oregon, they're going to do a lot of good things. This is a talented team, top to bottom, offensively and defensively.